Hi everyone, welcome back. A few months ago, I made an absolutely viral short, and in it, I just talked about how I saw some creepy light in the woods when I was at this cabin. Today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about what I saw and what it could be. That's right, we're doing an investigation, and by the end of this, we are going to know what I saw. This story all started a few months ago, over summer break. My parents like to play music, and they get money for it. I like to get around, I like to go cool places, and seeing as I live in the forest, I thought it would be good to go to another forest, a cabin in the middle of Appalachia. It was a beautiful cabin. I mean, they had a deer on the wall, they had these beautiful chairs, and an amazing view. I enjoyed my time there. I went on hikes. I love nature. I went on more hikes, and I filmed YouTube shorts. Everything seemed fine until one night. I was sitting out on the balcony watching the amazing view and seeing the stars rise. However, as this happened, my attention was caught off by something else. Looking into the forest, I saw one single glow, a bright light that I can't describe. It was a long, ominous pulse, a white beam that stared back at me in the darkness. Now, seeing this, I thought one thing: clout. So after it went away, the next morning, I quickly got on and told you guys all about it. I keep seeing things in this cabin. Last night, I was sitting on the balcony looking over the tree line, admiring the view. But through the trees, something catches my eye. It was like a light or something. I saw some kind of light over there. And you guys love that. I mean, I think it's safe to say that over half of my subscribers are from that video. So today, I'll say it, I've had enough. I wanna know what the heck I saw, and I wanna know now. So I've delved into Appalachian folklore, and I have narrowed it down to 4 things. Number 1, the moon-eyed people. Number 2, will-o-wisps. Number 3, the hidebehind. And number 4, the raven mocker. All of these things are absolutely terrifying, so buckle up because this is going to be exceptional. The first things I learned about were called moon-eyed people, and they are scary. They're found specifically in Georgia and North Carolina, and this cabin was smack in the middle of those states. So, apparently, Cherokee told settlers of these small, pale, blue-eyed creatures that watched them in the night. They lived in tribes, kind of like Ewoks from Star Wars, but a lot scarier. They were allegedly rivals of the Cherokee, and this led to a climactic final battle between the Cherokee and the blue-eyed people. Of course, this is only a legend, but who's to say? The battle was bloody and ended with both sides taking heavy casualties, but the Cherokee ultimately overpowered these creatures. So from that point on, the creatures scuttled back into the caves which they originally emerged from. Even so, some get braver, some get stronger, and they come out of their little tunnels. They come out to peer at people like you and me with their large, glassy eyes. Maybe it's all a myth. Maybe there's no such thing as these little alien things. Or maybe they want a taste of the sun and they don't want to share it with us. Now, I'm not saying the light in the woods I saw was one of these things staring at me, but let's think about this. These little guys have huge eyes that probably reflect the moon. So as I was sitting on that balcony, watching the stars, enjoying it, maybe one of these little buggers came up and started looking at me, just like this. It makes you wonder. I'm not too suspicious of these guys because I don't think they're real and I'm not much to look at. So, on to the next. The Appalachian forests are home to a lot more than just little blue-eyed guys. Sometimes at night, people will see strange lights over the treetops, strange flickering fires that cease to go out. These are called will-o-wisps. It's said that sometimes they will retreat and dance around when approached, or lead people deeper within the forest. Maybe they're trying to lead travelers to their death. Maybe they're trying to lead them to a treasure or something. Or maybe they're the reflection of lanterns in the night. Lanterns of someone who has been long lost to time. Some claim they are souls of the damned, flying away one last time before going into the pits of hell. Personally, I don't really like that idea. I just want to think they're fun little ghost orbs. However, I actually know someone who saw one of these things. My father. Okay, so this is my father.
Hello, everybody.
And we're gonna ask him some questions. So, my father may have seen some will-o-wisps, some scary ghost orbs of fire and light. So, Father, what exactly did you see and when did you see it? Just tell us.
Well, a number of times I have been out when I was a child. Well, really, about Colin's age. And shooting baskets outside at my parents' house. And all of a sudden, there was just this orb that was floating, I don't know, no more than 150 feet away from me. And it wasn't like what you think about, you know, a UFO way up in the sky, big airplane or bigger size. It was more like basketball or smaller size, somewhere between a basketball and a tennis ball. And it just glowed and kind of floated, and it didn't go away from me. I didn't feel scared, but I didn't know what it was because it was right at dusk. I think it was some kind of higher intelligence, which is real tough when you're dealing with us.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Yeah, that's my dad. He's pretty freaking cool. Anyway, what he said got me thinking. What if will-o-wisps are alien? Some higher form of intelligence? Maybe I was being watched. Maybe I was being studied. Personally, I think this might just be what I saw in those woods. But we still have 2 more entities to discuss. So without further ado, while I was researching cryptids, spirits, and other unexplainable phenomena, I remembered something very important. Last Christmas, I was gifted with this book, Fearsome Critters of the Lumberwoods. It's a compendium from the 1920s recounting a bunch of terrifying monsters and stories that lumberjacks would tell each other to explain their missing friends. Now, I flipped through it, and most of these monsters are stupid and definitely not true. But one of them is incredibly interesting, and that thing is called the hidebehind. Let me explain this to you in the words of Henry H. Tryon. The hidebehind is never found in the open. He always conceals himself behind a tree trunk. His marvelously quick, stealthy gait makes it possible for him to stay constantly behind his prey, no matter how quickly the suspicious victim may spin about in the hopes of glimpsing the marauder. The beast can go 7 years without eating, and no one has ever seen its true form. No one knows what this creature looks like. This guy says that it might look similar to a huge French sheepdog, but I don't think that's true. No one has ever seen this thing, and that is absolutely awesome. It's said that alcohol can keep it away, and that ain't good because I'm not a drinker. This makes it so much more likely that one found me. No one knows what this thing looks like, right? What if I was the first person to get a real look at it? By look, I mean its glowing eyes. Maybe it followed me home. If this thing is so elusive that no one can see it and it always stays behind you, I don't know. Maybe it's behind me right now. I mean, I can't see it in the camera, but it could be anywhere. It's getting late. We need to move on. All right, one last thing. It is getting pretty dark out here, so I'm gonna try to tell this as quickly as possible, but this is definitely the scariest thing in Appalachia, and there is kind of a lot to cover. So let's go. The Raven Mocker, an ancient Native American legend that talks of a withered man or woman that can shift into crow-like beings and fly through the skies at night. They stalk people who are dying or about to die, and they come to visit them during their final moments. They have many tools at their disposal. Not only can they shapeshift, turn invisible, and fly, but also they can kill someone with no difficulty at all. Raven Mockers do it by taking the hearts of the individual, and no one knows how they do this because no wounds are ever found. There's simply a missing heart where one should be. To make matters worse, it's said that every heart stolen extends the Mocker's life. Come to think of it, I did see a lot of crows around the cabin. And if the stories are true, maybe I wasn't seeing ravens. Was I close to death? Am I close to death? I don't know. But I need to go inside. Let's just hope what I saw wasn't the glint of a black feather or the beady eye of some bird thing. All right, we're almost done, but I have one more thing to talk about. One thing that kind of makes all of this seem so much more real. If you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that something really strange happened after I visited that cabin. I found this coin. It just appeared in my pocket out of nowhere, and on the back of it, it says, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined." And imagined is spelled wrong, so I don't know. It's not like the craziest supernatural coin, but it still is weird. I guess what I'm trying to get at is this related to what I saw in the woods? And even if it isn't, what the heck is this thing? Maybe this coin saved my life, and maybe it's telling me to keep making YouTube videos. Oh, maybe it's telling you to subscribe. Anyway, I had to mention this because, well, It's really weird. So here we are at the end of the video, and I still don't really have any idea what I saw. I'm just a lot more scared. I mean, this entire time I've been hearing stuff rustling around in the woods, coyotes yapping about, and it is getting, kind of late. So as I hold this coin, I have one last epiphany. I'm gonna flip this coin, and if it lands on the side without any words, I'm gonna take it that something is following me. And I'm gonna go back to that cabin. Well, I guess you guys can count on another video.